Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to House of Hadassah. I'm Coach Hadassah, metaphysician, wellness coach, life coach, all of the coaches. I like all of the coaches, helping you get to where you need to be. Now, usually you'll hear me, for those of you who tune in to the Coach's Corner with myself and Coach Cotton, you're here say helping you get to your next level. And no matter what it is I do, that's what it's all about. Helping you get to your next level, right? And so today, not going to be before you long at all. What I want to talk about though is wealth, like, right? This is almost trending now, like it's trending to uh, be wealthy and create generational wealth. And, you like my shirt. I got two of these. One of them is black and white, and the other one is white and black. I have on the white with the black writing, right? Generational wealth starts with me. And you have to make that decision. You have to make the decision that generational wealth will start with you. But here's the thing, it is a journey, right? It's a journey because that's exactly what it is. Generational, right? That means that it generates, but you're the generator. Like actually that's my what do we call it? Um the human design. I had to think about it. That's actually my human design, a manifesting generator. Right? So I manifest and generate. So it starts with me. The question is, will it start with you? So as a generator, right, that you're going to start, then that means that this the beginning, and you may or may not enjoy the fruit of your labor. Now, you will get some along the way. You'll eat some little berries and little stuff here and there or whatever, but you don't want to eat it all up, okay? You are starting this so that the generation after you, or like that biblical principle that says leave an inheritance to your children's children. So your children's children is your grandchildren, right? Like you have your children, but then when your children have children, they should be able to eat from the fruit of your labor, right? They should be able to eat from the fruit of your labor. So that starts with you right now, today. You may have children, you may not. You may have children and actually have adult children that have had children. That means that you're a grandparent and you're looking at your children's children right in the face. Okay. So it's not just about what you would give them, materially or financially. Okay. But what wisdom will you impart into them? Because even the scripture says that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. So we are to pass down wisdom and knowledge not only to our children, but to our children's children. Wisdom and knowledge we pass down to them because we can know a lot of things. It's a lot of things that I know. However, if we don't know how to use that knowledge or apply that knowledge, we'll always hear that, knowledge is power. And then we'll say, no, we'll correct it. That applied knowledge is power, right? Because it's some things that that you don't want to let people know that right? In some cases, you need to hold back. You need to know when to use that knowledge and when to just zip it. You know what I'm saying? And keep it to yourself. And that's what's called wisdom. Okay? To know when not to, when to apply, when not to apply, like all of that good stuff, right? And then again, being able to pass that wisdom and knowledge down to your children and your children's children, because when it does come to material possessions, the money, right? Like the assets, all of the assets, that wisdom and knowledge that you pass down to them will help them to keep it right? Keep those assets in order to continue to pass that down to their children's children after them. And this is how the wealthy keeps passing down generational wealth. Generational wealth. It starts with wisdom and knowledge, and then that wisdom and knowledge on how to keep what an ancestor built, right? That's what it's all about. So if you've been in a family situation where you came from poverty or poverty mindset and just all this kind of stuff, and you've been blessed to where you've gotten that wisdom, you've gotten that knowledge, you're the one that was chosen, so to speak, to make that change for your family and the future generations, right? Then there's some things that you need to do, right? So where do we start? Now we live here in I'm not sure where you're watching from. You could be watching and on another continent, right? But the things that I'm going to share now applies to the United States, right? It applies to America. Okay, because this is where we live. Now there are certain things that comes that's according to your state and things like that, but for the most part it's the USA, it's the United States. It applies, and it's not open to a certain ethnic group or racial background. This is, if you know it and you can apply it, it works for you. It knows no color, right? It doesn't, but it applies to you. So how does the wealthy keep their wealth and create trust fund babies? So look, we're gonna crush that that thing that we usually do, and in our community, so to speak, where I don't know, we want to make fun of trust fund babies and stuff like that. I want trust fund babies. Yes, I do. Right. And my hope is that you do too. So how does that happen? How do you even create trust fund babies? Well, number one, it starts with I'm gonna say a skill set, right? It starts with the skill set. What we do, I'm going to share some of the things that we do. Like, I trade forex, right, on the forex market daily. My best market to trade in is between the Asian and the London sessions. I do very, very well. I've been doing it for coming up. Has it been two? I know it's been over a year. Has it been 2 years now? Maybe 2 years now. And we have wonderful educators. Okay. I mean, educators, coaches, mentors. I mean, awesome. And people are learning over here on our platform in record breaking time, right? Because there are certain things that we learn, and there are certain disciplines. Everything starts with a discipline. Okay. If you can discipline yourself, discipline your habits, discipline your disappointments, even, you can be successful in the Forex market. So that allows us to tap into an $8 trillion per day market. I didn't say per year. I didn't say once every 5 years, 10 years. I said per day. Yes, that's how much money is circulating in the Forex market. So with $8 trillion a day, what about 7 billion, or whatever people on the earth, there's enough money to go around for everybody, right? If you were able to make $1,000 per day, just 5 days a week, $1,000 a day, 5 days a week, that's $20,000 a month. That would cut crime down tremendously, because in most cases, the reason why people are committing crimes is because what? They don't have their basic needs met. That's really what it is. They don't have their basic needs met. And so they end up committing a crime, whether it's like street thug crime or whatever, or what they say, white collar crimes. Either way, you know, some of that is greed, but for the most part, it's just people don't have their basic needs met. But if you were able to do $1,000 a day, 5 days a week, $20,000 a month, and then show you how you can do that safely in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to swindle anybody, knock them upside the head, or any of those things. Or you don't have to work 50,000 hours in order to make $1,000 a day, when you can show you how to do that in about an hour or so, right? So now, if you can do that, then the next thing that you want to do is use this system that we have of credit, okay? Because cash is king, but credit is queen. And you want to have the king and the queen together, right? That's a marriage, right? It's a marriage. You don't want to have just one or the other. You want to have both. So taking you through this system of getting your credit together, right? Whether you need to build credit or restore and repair credit, either way, you have to have credit that works for you in this system that we have. Now, here's the key. Here's the thing about it. When you get your personal credit together, it's not for you to take, your personal credit and your great credit score and all of that, and then just start buying everything, or, whatever, getting loans and all of that kind of stuff in your personal name with your personal credit. That's not how we should do things, right? I know that's what we have done, and we're celebrating it and all of that stuff, but that is not wise. That's not wisdom, right? Again, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation. So here's wisdom. You build the personal credit in order for you to get business credit. And then you don't use your personal credit, right? You get business credit. You get business credit. You start to build that up. That allows you to get business funding for any business that you wanted to start, or all of those things. You get business funding because you need money to go into business. You need that capital, right? Okay, so now that you have this business credit and you have the business funding, now you can apply. That opens you up to apply for a lot of things. And you want to do things in the name of business and not in the name of you. Okay, so now, after you do all of that, and which really I won't say after, but while you're in the process of doing those things, you want to set up proper structures. Because what's the use of going through that process, right? Creating generational wealth, building these structures, only to have something, someone, some entity or whatever come and attempt to knock it all down, right? With a what? With a lawsuit or something like that. Now, there are people, they're professionals at doing this. Like, this is what they do, okay? They look for people who are doing all of these things that I'm talking about, but you didn't shelter everything and structure it the way that you need to protect against what these people do. And now here you come with a lawsuit. People coming to sue you and take your money and your business and all of that type of stuff. I sat with an estate planner, and this is what he showed me. He's like, yeah, people do this. Like, their job is to go in the newspapers, looking at the public records that are in the newspaper, and look, you want everything in your name, and it'll be out there in your name, public. And there are people that are professionals at reading those newspapers, seeing your name and all your assets and everything that you have, because it's public record. And then next thing you know, here they come some kind of way, and all of a sudden you offended them in some type of way, hurt them or whatever, because they put themselves in a position to get hurt by you or whatever, and boom, lawsuit. Oh, yeah, it's the craziest thing that I've ever heard too. But like I said, this person, estate planner, this is what they, I mean, not an estate planner, but that deals with the states and things like that. And this is what they do regularly, and they see it all the time. And I'm like, are you serious? He said, yeah. Right, like, yes, Jewish man. So I know he know, right? So so in that talk and that planning, that's what he said. You have to, you have to protect everything. You need to protect your estate. And how do you do that? You do that through a trust. You do it through a trust, right? You put everything that you have, your businesses, your assets, your all of that. And let me tell you what your number one asset is or are: your family, right? Your spouse. If you're a wife and you have a husband, if you're a husband and you have a wife, right? Your spouse is your asset. Your children, assets. And then everything, anything and everything that you build together, assets. And they need to be protected through a trust, right? That's what you have to do. And there's a process that goes, like I said, that goes along with that. But that is how you create and protect your generational wealth so that you can pass it on from generation to generation to generation, right? And what was I about to? No, that's exactly what I was about to say. What I was about to say was what I just said, that you pass it on from generation to generation to generation. That's how you do it, and that is how you create trust fund babies, right? Because now you have something to be able to pass down. How many times we have, we're accustomed to kind of seeing those what do you call those uh what do you call that? When people pass away, but they didn't have anything in place whatsoever, insurance, like nothing. And then you have to be careful with those insurances too. But the GoFundMe's, okay? Folks want to come up with a potluck and a GoFundMe and all of that to bury whoever, have a funeral and all of that kind of stuff. And you don't know what you don't know, that you don't know what you don't know. But the thing is, it is imperative. I'm doing it right now, and I will continue to do it every single Wednesday with What's the Word Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about wealth. I'm going to be talking about generational wealth. It's going to be the same talk just about every Wednesday, because the message has to get out here to our people that don't know. Again, wisdom and knowledge is the stability of our times and the strength of our salvation, right? Because we need to stop with the, oh, so and so, passed away, died, didn't have this and that and the other. And so now we're going to create a GoFundMe in order to, bury said loved one. We have to stop that. And everything that I just shared and talked about, as far as, credit, starting there with personal credit, all the way to the estate planning with having a trust, putting all assets, businesses, everything in the trust to be able to pass down things, so that we're not coming up against, probate court and all of these other things that will come to, again, tear down what you're building. It don't cost a lot of money. We spend my money on TVs. This is tax season, right? Everybody is out for your money right now. Everybody. Okay. Why do you think they have the car, the what do you call it, the car shows? Okay, every February here in Chicago, and I don't know about anywhere else, but we have a car show. Well, why do you think that is? Why is the car show in February? Why isn't the car show in March or April or something? Let me tell you why. Because most people, when they get a large refund, now I'm going to tell you who are the only ones that get refunds. the people that overpaid in refunds, the people that will have refunds because you worked a job, you overpaid in taxes, you got a lump sum of money back at the end of the year, which was yours to begin with. And because you're in this sense of lack the entire year, oh, I want to feel a certain way. And you probably do need a car, right? And so they're right there in the month of February to be like, hey, take the refund that you have and buy some more debt, buy a car note. Now, some people were smart enough to buy an entire car. I mean, just like buy the car. Like, I mean, seriously, I'm either purchasing the car outright or I'm leasing. Right. But then I know how to also do that through my business. Okay. But personally, I don't like car notes. I'm just be honest with you. I don't like them. But yeah, your average person is taking that amount of money and putting down a down payment on a car and then going to get a TV. Now, here's the thing. I ain't knocking anybody. Do you, right? Like, if you need a car, you got to do what you got to do. You want a bigger TV? Hey, whatever. But what I am saying is you could take a percentage of that. You can take a percentage of your tax refund and start to get your credit together and not just stop there, because there's many different credit programs out there and all that kind of stuff. But what good is personal credit when you're not even really supposed to be using your personal credit? You want to protect yourself. You want to own nothing and control everything. Okay? Again, own nothing, control everything. On paper, you shouldn't even exist. But your trust, your business, whatever, it has everything. Right? And that's a process that we actually have to take you through the steps seamlessly to get to trust. Not just stop at, oh, I built my personal credit up, and then maybe in a year or two, you right back in the same place. I know because I've been there. And I know because I got some other people who's been there too. I've done their credit a few different times, right? Because why? Life happens. That's the thing. It happens. But again, having that trust protects you from those things or life happening that would destroy everything that you just went through the process of redoing and building and recouping and all of that good stuff, right? So we want to take you through that process. Okay. Again, you don't have to find 50,000 different people in order to do this journey or this process. And it doesn't take forever to do. Now, I'm not saying it's overnight. Okay. It's not overnight, but it doesn't take forever to do. But again, all of your financial needs in one place, and getting you to that point of, again, trust, so that you really can have generational wealth to pass down to your children's children. And then teach them about that. Teach them how to keep it. Everything that I'm talking about is not only is it a wealth principle, but it's a biblical principle. That's what happened in the garden. The Creator created everything. Right? Did all the heavy lifting, did all of the work, and then said, place a man in the garden and said, look, all of this is yours. I just want you to maintain it, right? Dress it and keep it. I've instilled in you the intelligence and the wisdom and the knowledge in order to be able to keep everything that I just put you in. But just don't do this one thing. Right? This one thing don't do, but everything else be free. Right? That's a wealth principle that every wealthy person that I have been in contact with, talked to, been mentored by, coached by, the books, all of that, when it comes down to it, their wealth principles, they got them from the scriptures. It's all there, right? But we just have to implement them, right? We have to do them. We have to implement them. Listen, our parents may not have known, and that's okay, right? They could only give us what they knew, and that's fine. But now, with this wealth of information that we have easily accessible to us on our smart phones, like we should really be smart with these phones, okay, instead of doing crazy stuff, right? Information at our fingertips. There's a wealth of information out here, you know, things that we can tap into and all of that. And now it's really no excuse, because really everybody is talking about generational wealth now. Again, like I said in the beginning, it's trending, right? It's a trendy topic, and everybody has something to sell you on, how to do it, how to create it, all of that kind of stuff. But one thing I have not seen is a seamless process where it's all together in one, like going to a one-stop shop, right? And that is what I have to offer you. So if you want to know how to go through that seamless process where you get all of your financial needs met in one place, I want you to reach out to me. You see down here scrolling at the bottom where it says, it says book your coaching session with Coach Hadassah, but you can reach me at Linktree, right? Linktree/coach Hadassah. If you're on Facebook, you can go ahead and inbox me and Facebook. If you're on YouTube, I highly suggest that you do not inbox me on YouTube, because I promise you, I don't even know where to begin to check my YouTube messages. I probably have messages in there from years ago, and I look and be like, oh my Lord, so that's why I put my information, in the description box on YouTube for you to reach out to me there. So you'll see that, the link to click on to get to my link tree, and you can contact me directly. Again, if you're here on Facebook, you can inbox me, contact me directly. You can go there on Linktree, or you can reach me at this phone number, 773-800-1022. Okay. And I'm actually going to put that in here in the banner. So again, you can, let me put this, let me do this real quick. You can reach me at 773, look, write this down, 773-800-1022, right? And I'll put that back up there because I want you to take advantage of this. All right. Look, everybody's after your tax money. All right. I'm only after a portion of it. But the difference is I'm giving you something back more valuable, right? And what you can do to just lock in a position in order for you to get this process started is $10. $10. I can't even walk out my house for $10. It costs $300 to go outside. I'm serious. It's $300 to go outside. I can't walk out my house for $10. But you will be able to lock in your position for $10 in order for you to get the early bird special pricing on this particular product that's going to help you to go through this process of, again, getting your credit together, whether it's restoration or building it. You may not have credit. Let's build it, right? Go ahead and build it. Get you through that process. Business credit, you need it. Okay? We start building from there because the next step is business funding. You need that too, right? Then we want to get you set up with your trust and your structure. Okay? Own nothing, control everything. Pass down generational wealth, because it do start with who? You that's watching this. All right. So that is my time. I'm not going to have you here long. I'm proud of myself because 30 minutes. right? Usually I'm longer than that, but 30 minutes, one to be in and out. All right. So I'll be looking forward to speaking with you soon, personally, all of that. And then tune in again next week. What's the word Wednesdays? Because what I'm gonna be talking about, another aspect of generational wealth. Friend. Bring a friend back with you because listen, you're changing your financial trajectory. You're changing your financial house and things like that. And trust me when I say you want it around you to do this same thing too. Because if not, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to change the people around you in your environment, right? Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we can be trying to give the best of the best information and all of that to the people around us. They don't listen. And then you just have to strike out and get a new network, get a new environment. It happens. It happens. But at least you can share it with the people that's around you right now and see what happens. That's it, right? So again, tell somebody, bring it with you next time, next Wednesday for What's the Word Wednesday. And we'll continue with this topic because it's that time, right? It's time. You want to be in a different place in the next 90 days, in the next 180 days, in the next year. All right. So you guys take care. See you next week.
Have a good day.
Bye. Sister said, have a good day. She'll be on with me next week. Sister, you coming on next. Sister gonna be on next week. Cause I already know I'm gonna have somebody that say, hey, where's sister? She'll be right here next week. All right. So you all have a good day. Peace.